14 types of people you need to completely avoid. Everyone meets all kinds of people in our lives. We never know what that stranger is like or who they turn out to be. As we get to know someone better, we are able to detect many different patterns of behavior. Here are 14 types of people you need to completely avoid. Number 1. Arguers. Everyone will argue with you when it comes to something important to them, and that is a natural human quality. Arguers differ from other people because they will argue with you about anything and everything. They simply love to argue. It doesn't matter who you are to them either. They can and will argue with a stranger while waiting in line at the supermarket. They will argue about the color of your fence, or the length of your hair, or some other thing. And they will win because nobody has the fighting stamina of an arguer. Everyone else will quit, and the arguer will go away smiling and content because they won another fight. If you have no intention on defending every single thing you say to exhaustion, get away from a fighter. Number 2. Envious people. Surely you have met a person who is always jealous about other people's accomplishments and general well-being. Jealous people are actually dissatisfied with themselves and their lives, but they would never admit that. They try to hide that they hate their lives, and they are only ready to comment on everybody else's lifestyles. They are that type of colleague or friend that will never truly congratulate you on your promotion or new car. Jealous people will look down on you and maybe even accentuate your flaws or mistakes in order to bring you down so they can feel better about themselves. Jealous people can't get past their wishes of being successful or beautiful or younger, and they can't forgive you if you are all that they long to be. So, don't even try to get close to an envious person. They are not very capable of being a true friend. Number 3. Passive-aggressive people. Passive aggressiveness is the type of behavior where a person exhibits resistance not by directly confronting someone they have a problem with, but rather by creating conflict in a different, more concealed way. For example, a passive-aggressive person will never tell their boss they are disappointed that they have been left out from a promotion once again. Instead, they will procrastinate with their work, or avoid meetings, or forget to send that important email. You can see how that could be hard to deal with. Instead of being open about their feelings, they will expect you to somehow magically read their mind, know exactly what is going on with them, and act accordingly. They forget that nobody is obliged to do that. If you don't want to lose half of your life figuring out what is happening to a passive-aggressive person, you are better off without them. Number 4. Emotional vampires. Have you ever been in the presence of a person for a short time and then feel like all of your strength and life has been drained from your body? If your answer is yes, there is a good chance that you have met an emotional vampire. Emotional vampires are the type of people that can talk incessantly and usually complain about their problems, never asking about you and your life. Just like the vampires from legends suck blood, the emotional vampire sucks every positive emotion and the very essence of life from you so that you are left with only exhaustion and depression, and generally want to lay down in the fetal position. Nothing good can come out of relationships with this kind of people, so you will do best by just staying away from them. Number 5. Braggers. Who doesn't loathe that person that's always bragging about their new phone or the new car or something else? This type of people rarely can talk about anything else but themselves and how fabulous their life is. This is especially annoying for a couple of reasons. Firstly, this kind of talk is usually empty conversation. They don't talk about anything that is relevant to you or meaningful at all. Secondly, there is no person alive whose life is always so fabulous. Bad things happen to all of us, and if you encounter a person that never talks about anything else, they are simply lying to you, or worse, themselves. Either way, there is no way of knowing the real person behind all the bragging, and thus no hope of forming real, meaningful connections with this kind of people. Number 6. Gossipers. If you seek to form any kind of relationship with someone, trust is probably one of the most important qualities for you. However, if that person you have met is a gossiper, you can continue searching. With gossipers around, nothing of yours is intimate or private. Whatever you have told them, you may as well have said on the news. Everyone will know either way. Gossipers sometimes have ulterior motives for disclosing your secrets, but it often happens that they tell someone your secret just because they enjoy engaging in gossiping. If you have befriended this type of person, it is very likely that your trust will be betrayed and your feelings hurt, so it would be best to just stay away from gossipers. Number 7. Know-it-alls. If any type of people on this list can be considered tedious, tiresome, and annoying, this is it. Know-it-alls don't pose a threat like liars or gossipers could, for example, but they are so hard to be around. Nobody likes a person who thinks of themselves as the smartest person alive. It is hard to be with those people. They always have something to say on any subject imaginable. They insist the information they give you is correct and that their point of view is the best. They are capable of what seems like incessant talk. You should really avoid this kind of people if you want to participate in conversations where your voice is heard, because surely know-it-alls will not allow that. Number 8. Hypocrites. A hypocrite is, simply put, a person who pretends to be someone or something they are not. This is hard to bear because you never know who you are dealing with. It may happen that you put your trust in them and they betray you, or that you think they are helping you, but they really are working for their own interest. This often happens at work. You may have a colleague that you have seen smiling to an associate, but when their back is turned, they will not hesitate to say the worst thing about them to the manager. You should be very careful with hypocrites because they can do you real harm, and the worst is they can go years without being recognized for what they really are. Number 9. Arrogant people. Have you ever had the misfortune of knowing anyone who thought they were the smartest, prettiest, most magnificent person ever, and that anything that other people do or say doesn't even come close to them? If so, there is no need to elaborate on how arrogant people can ruin even your best mood. Arrogant people will never admit they are wrong, even if you present them with rock-solid proof. They tend to smirk when someone else speaks and goes out of the way to prove their worth. If you don't want to be looked at from great heights, stay clear of arrogant people. Number 10. Whiners. Life can be hard. Life is much harder when you are around a whiner. Their whining makes everything worse. As if things aren't bad enough, they will constantly talk about anything that they don't like or that isn't fair. In psychology, there is something called Calimero syndrome. Like the cute chick with half of an eggshell on his head from the cartoon, the whiner will always complain that everything is an injustice. Nothing seems right to the whiner. Everyone and everything is against them, and pessimism is their lifestyle. If you don't want that much negativity in your life, let them whine far away from you. Number 11. Liars. One could argue that we all lie sometimes. For example, if a man wants to propose, he must lie in order to keep it a secret. That is what we usually call a white lie, because it is not meant to hurt anyone. But there are people who lie not out of good intentions, but to make themselves look better in the eyes of other people. You should limit your contact with liars because they are not trustworthy. For your personal growth and well-being, you need someone you can trust and who will tell you the truth when you need to hear it. Number 12. Criticizers. We all need a little constructive criticism to see what we are doing wrong and to help us grow. That is usually what true, sincere friends do for us. However, if you find yourself being criticized all the time and in a mean manner that is meant to bring you down, that is a clear sign that you should really avoid that criticizer. Number 13. Attention seekers. This type is often called drama queens. Attention seekers are usually very loud, which comes from a desperate need for attention. They often act like they are the center of the universe. Although this can be very tiresome, there is a simple way to deal with them. Deprive them of the attention they long for, and they will walk away. Number 14. Abusive people. This should go without saying. If you cross paths with someone mentally or physically abusive, run the other way as fast as you can. This often doesn't go without saying because abusive people have a way of dragging you into a relationship and in their claws with sweet talk at first before they show their true face. The best defense against abuse is strong self-confidence, self-appreciation, and support from loved ones who can help when help is needed. This was a list of just some types of people you would be better without. There are many more kinds of behavior that can be annoying and potentially dangerous for you. The general rule of thumb is that you will be happier if you stay away from anyone who makes you feel bad or brings you down in any way. We all deserve someone who encourages us and makes us better people. Remember that when meeting new people, and never be afraid to end it with anyone who is less than loving and supporting. Before you leave, our team will be very happy if you can give this video a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.